What is up, guys? Whoever you are and wherever you are, welcome back to another video. Today we got actually an update and a follow-up from the past video, the last video on my channel. We discussed last time the issues that happened with Assetto Corsa Competizione and its launch for consoles, Xbox One and PS4. This was anticipated by everyone, but on the day it happened, June 23rd, a lot of issues, emerged and ruined the experience for pretty much everyone. Now, we covered these issues, a few, not all, a few of these issues on my past video. If you didn't watch it, well, basically, these issues made the game pretty much unplayable for wheel users. Because the wheel just wouldn't react to anything. Or maybe it would, but not like properly, and it just completely ruined the experience, you know. Kunos Simulazione actually released a statement addressing every single one of these issues, including the ones that we didn't address on our past video, because like I say, there are even more issues. So they addressed every single one of these in a post earlier today, and we're going to be reviewing it right here and right now. First off, it's the Intercontinental Dlc Codes. Like, if you don't know, this game's pre-orders catch was, if you pre-order the game, you get the Intercontinental DLC for free, which includes several tracks. Now, a lot of people did not get their content, even though they pre-ordered the game, which is a shame. I did get mine because it was digitally through the Xbox Store, and it will automatically download the DLC. No need for codes, no need for anything. A lot of people pre-ordered a physical copy that is supposed to come with a code, a physical code that you have to manually enter on the console in order to gain access to your content. There are a lot of people on Twitter reporting that they did not get their code. It's supposed to be printed in a piece of paper inside the box, you know, inside the game, inside the physical copy, and this wasn't the case for a lot of people. Now, here's what Kunos Simulazione had to say about it. As mentioned in a recent fact guide, Xbox pre-orders, both digital and boxed versions, get Intercontinental GT Pack DLC for free. Codes for the DLC pack for those who picked up the boxed versions of ACC are distributed via the retailer, not 505 games. If your retailer offers you the Intercontinental GT Pack DLC at the point of pre-order, please reach out to them if you still haven't received your code. In other words, that's not our problem. There's something up in here, and maybe, just maybe, Kunos isn't the one to blame right here. Now, this is the only issue right here that cannot be solved directly by Kunos, because, like I said, it's more of a third-party issue right here. Now, on the second one, wheel compatibility, which is why I said before, what I mentioned before, made pretty much the game unplayable. No one is out here playing ACC on controller, let's be real. They say, definitely a hot topic, our dev team are looking into this as a priority with wheel manufacturers. We know that these are issues that need ironing out, and we're investigating on our side. Rest assured, we see you and we hear you. No additional info right now, as these things don't get sorted instantly, but we will let you know when we have more details to share. We're sorry some of you are experiencing issues, and we want to thank those who have submitted reports full of useful info for our team. It helps a great deal. Oh, just to add, if you report issues to our team around wheels, please ensure that your wheel's firmware is up to date first. Again, kind of softly blaming it in the player. Are you sure your thing is updated and ready to work? Because it's not our issue, right? We properly test the thing. Well, just in yesterday's video, actually, we went over the impression that Kunos did not even test properly, or at all maybe, the wheel compatibility with the game, which is, like I said, a crucial part of the experience of a sim game, of any game on the sim genre. So, part of it says, we know, we're working on it. And the other part says it's half your responsibility. Make sure your wheel works. And I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, sure, there's going to be a patch soon, and we hope it happens in less than a week, but we're not sure. And the other part basically says there's a bit of, there might be a problem with your wheel, it might be the user's problem, but that part is just like super confusing because they can just blame the player and say, oh, it worked properly here on the studios, and then we release it and then it magically doesn't work anymore. That's just not how it works, you know. You can't just blame everything on the player because it's every single or nearly every single player reporting this issue on Twitter. So you are not going to tell me that it is our issue and that it is our wheel that is not properly working. You're not gonna blame it on the firmware or whatever you want to do because it's just not possible. It's, like, what do you mean every single player has the exact same issue and every single player failed to check their firmware? So every single player failed to check if their wheel works. Like, let's go over the next one, FPS and performance. We've seen a number of reports come through around performance issues and FPS drops, particularly with PS4 Pro and Xbox One X systems. Again, this is something our team are fully aware of and are looking into. In other words, we're working on it. They really didn't give any details about it, but like I said before, a lot of people are upset for this. I don't consider myself upset because of the frame drops, but it is kind of important in the world of team racing. You know, you need the precision actually, and frames and input lag is something like you absolutely don't want in this kind of game. Like, if it's like some shooter game or whatever, okay, sure. I mean, it's not that deep, you know, but sim racing, come on, it's like an e-sport actually. It's an e-sport more than just a video game. So it's crucial for them to deliver the optimal performance, or at the very least the bare minimum acceptable performance, which is 30 FPS. Like I said in my past video, it's okay if you don't want to give, or you think these platforms are not able to deliver 60 FPS, whatever, but if you say 30, you should at least deliver the 30 FPS you promised, you know. Next one, Liberator. This one I was not aware of. A number of users reported issues with the Liberator, and thankfully this was a quick fix for our team. In the very near future, ACC players can expect a hotfix that addresses this. This will launch firstly in Europe, then in North America. Once we're out of submissions, we can then provide you with a launch date. Stay tuned. Now, like I said, I have no idea there were Liberator issues, and they did not even specify in what these issues consisted in. But they say it was a quick fix and it should be out soon. Now, multiplayer, a lot of people were complaining about this, and we did not even address that on the first video, but basically people were reporting that the game would simply crash when attempting to join a multiplayer lobby. Now, like you probably know, there are no private lobbies in this game as for now. They will come in the future, they have fully confirmed it, but for now we are stuck with public lobbies, you know. They say right here, again, something we're taking a deep dive into, as we're very aware some of you have problems within multiplayer, especially on day one. Rest assured, we're not ignoring the problem. Behind the scenes, the team are looking server side into what have caused these crashes. Now, since it's public lobby, it doesn't really matter all that much. Let's be honest, these games are meant for private lobbies. Like, public lobbies are always a carnage, and no one is really out here playing public lobbies. So again, it doesn't really matter all that much. It needs to be fixed, yes, but it's not a priority. At this point, they shouldn't even bother including public lobbies, because everyone knows public lobbies are just a mess in any game, no matter what. Private lobbies. As mentioned earlier this week, private lobbies are coming to the console edition of ACC. No exact launch date to share just yet. but know that they're coming, and hopefully much sooner than you think. As soon as we'll have it says right here, as soon as we launch, as we a launch date, they skip a word. As soon as we a launch date, we will communicate this. What we can tell you though is we're looking to support 20 players in private lobbies. Now, the last part to wrap it up. To be continued. As frustrating as it is that we cannot provide concrete dates right now as to when the above will be fixed, it's just not possible at the time of writing. Please know that we are doing all we can to ensure normal racing can resume as soon as possible, which implies it started. Normal racing started at some point. They didn't even start, the game was not even playable. For those experiencing issues, the team are working absolutely flat out behind the scenes, rest assured. Looking forward, we have a lot of excitement content in the pipeline coming up. The GT4 pack, for example, featuring 10 plus cars, is scheduled to launch on PS4 and Xbox One this fall, which is, by the way, much earlier than I heard. I originally heard this pack was coming in July for PC and on December for consoles, which I thought it was great, but it's coming much earlier apparently, and that's great. I mean, technically a part of December is still fall. Let's just hope it's not all the way to December, because when I think of fall, I think of October, November, not December, but whatever. And it goes. We think our sim racers are going to love what the DLC pack has within it, so keep an eye on our social channels and announcement and unveils. We can't wait to tell you more about that. Finally, to round things up for today, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank those who have taken the time to provide us with constructive criticism. Helped us help you, providing invaluable info and for taking the time to share your content. This part is super funny. Thank those who have taken the time to provide us with constructive criticism, helped us help you, in other words, doing our job. And it goes like this again, for taking the time to share your content, screenshots and kind messages. We're so grateful and fortunate to have such a passionate community. I feel like they don't mean a word of that, because people are so harsh to them on Twitter and they're responding directly to those harsh comments, so we know for a fact that they read them. As soon as I have more information from the team, such as fixes, dates, times, etc., I will let you know. As mentioned, we're doing all we can to try and fix these issues behind the scenes. In the meantime, be ACC. Hashtag be ACC. How can I be ACC if the game isn't even playable yet? Okay, so that's it. I'm going to leave these posts in the description of the video so you guys can review it by yourselves. Let me know what you think. I personally, and before I wrap up this video, I like to say something, and I hope there's a dev or a person in charge of deadlines watching this, because it's important. What is your obsession with dropping the game so early? Like, do you get paid extra to drop the games early or what? Like, let me ask you a question. What do you think is better? A game that was delayed a month but actually works, or a game that was dropped on the promised date but is unplayable? Just answer me that question, because when you drop the game, no matter how early, I don't understand what your obsession is with dropping games early. You're wasting people's time and potentially money. Just delay the game, nobody cares. People is going to complain anyways, so they might as well complain for the right reasons. The game is going to take an extra month to drop, but we know that you are taking the time to properly test the game and make sure that it works. We don't want more disastrous launches like this. It's just... That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any suggestions for alternatives, just do me a personal favor and let me know in the comments if you know any alternatives to ACC on consoles, because I don't think I'm patient enough to wait till the patch is out and properly tested. Maybe more issues will come with this patch, so I just don't know. I just want to play something right now. I bought the wheel recently. It's a Logitech G920 that I will be posting a video about this wheel later on. and I kinda wanna use it. So please let me know if you know any alternatives to the ACC in consoles. That's it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.